guys, I'm Kaylin. Welcome back to Fable Hill Farm. Happy New Year to all of you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Happy New Year. Hope it's a wonderful year for you, filled with health and happiness and joy and success of all kinds, whatever that means to you, whatever it looks like for you, for your family, for your situation, for your life. I hope it's a good one. Now, getting into this video, this is an update. Sorry, it's wobbly here, guys. I'm out here on my iPhone, and I just wanted to start the process of shooting this video. I've been so busy. I really have not had time to catch you all up. We are so close to the beginning of kidding season and starting to think about, incubating eggs and looking at spring and summer projects, which I was just talking to my father-in-law last night. Lots going on, lots to talk about. We have a whole new milking room and part of our goat barn, and I have lots and lots of plans for this spring and summer to make an impact on my goat infrastructure. That's going to really help with saving time, being more efficient, and just working with the growth that we should be seeing this year with having so many more kids on the ground. Hopefully a few nice doelings to retain, some sales to make. So I just want to kind of do an all-encompassing video here, update you on the ducks and the chickens and the goats and all the things here at Fable Hill Farm. Stay tuned, stick around. This video is probably going to stretch out throughout the course of the day, and I'm not quite sure where it's going to take us because I am a stay-at-home mom with a 2-year-old, and I'm trying to work around her schedule. She'll go to my mother-in-law's this afternoon or evening, so we'll just see what happens. This is Jinx, one of my other barn cats, Dobby's sister. This is Archie, one of my other barn cats. We have 4 barn cats all together. Archie here and her sister Dex, who is a beautiful long-haired black and white cat. Our sisters that we inherited with our property, kind of against our will because we were worried the dogs would not like them, which is certainly the case, but they've just really bonded with us, and they're great cats, so we're happy to have them. So we have Archie and Dex, who are sisters, and Dobby and Jinx, who are sisters that I adopted a few months ago. So I want to say thank you all so much who subscribe, who watch, who comment, who like, who share my videos. Thank you all. I have reached over 2,000 roosters. I've reached over 2,000 subscribers, which is huge, and it feels like such a big accomplishment, and it's hard to believe that so many people have watched my videos, and I genuinely appreciate all of you taking the time. This is just something I really enjoy doing. I love telling stories. I love sharing, things I've learned and teaching, and it's never a dull moment. They actually do get along, but they're girls and they're cats, so it's just hard to believe, and I'm really grateful for all of you who take that time out of your day to connect with me. I have really enjoyed talking to so many viewers from all over the world, so thank you. I'm going to be doing something in celebration of 2,000 subscribers, maybe a live chat or a giveaway or both. I'm not sure. I'll let you know. Maybe comment down below and tell me what you think, if you have any ideas, if you would be interested in a live chat, and what your time zone is and what would work for you. And I'll see, maybe if I can get enough, engagement from my audience and people that, genuinely would like to take time to just chat and talk about things or ask me questions, then I can try to make something that works for the consensus. Because I have viewers in North America, in the Philippines, in Australia, in England, and I believe Scotland, and all over like South and Central Asia. And so I just think that's really cool, and I would like to connect with people, and I would be very nervous but intrigued by doing a live chat with some of my viewers. So comment down below. Thank you. Let's get to this video. Got my baby monitor, keeping an eye on Woodstow baby farm. The bucks are out. Uhtred's out. Uhtred, what you got, buddy? Hi. This is how many birds are braving the weather right now. It's actually much warmer today than yesterday, and the animals are slowly venturing forth, checking things out, looking for food. I actually started feeding my Muscovies and my small flock of chickens that free ranges up in the woodshed. I started feeding my Muscovies and my smaller flock of free-ranging chickens up in the woodshed the last few days, just to help them with the cold and the wind. And so I've been giving them hot water, which, you know, by the time it's out here for a few minutes, it's more warm water, but it actually stays really quite warm when it comes from our wood heated water in the garage. And you can see here some of my birds are eating and bathing, and they like to hang out here anyways, and this is obviously a great spot for them to get out of the elements. And they like hanging out here, so I feed them here and give them that hot water, and that's making a big difference. Hey, Dobby, one of our barn cats, Dobby here, who just loves me, don't you, little buddy? Gotta get neutered very soon, Dobby. The cats are obsessed, you guys. Obsessed. This is that livestock yeast, the Kallenbach I feed to my poultry, and they just got a lot of dirt they need to clean up out here, but it's been so cold, they're not really trying to clean up, you know, they're trying to survive. So people are starting to come out now. This is a lilac pied hen here. We have this beautiful chocolate ripple hen there. She just has the prettiest feathers, super pretty. This is my lilac barred drake, who I'll be trying out this season, and then my questionable drake, who's either silver or lilac or buff or something, not sure, probably silver or buff, we'll see. Barred. Silver hen. The silver hen I just love, she's so pretty. Her head is really beautiful, that dark silver color, and I would love to breed some solid birds that have that richness that her head has. This dish is honestly frozen to the ground. It has been for like a week. I can't get it unstuck. So they have other dishes. My chocolate barred hen just flew in. What up, ducks? Much warmer day than yesterday. Everybody's happy. Love, love, love this lavender ripple hen as well. She is so pretty. Cannot wait to see her clutch or clutches if I'm lucky this year. Beautiful hen. And that's my cue because the baby monitor just went off. So see you guys later. All right, you guys, I am back. It is about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Last checked in with you this morning. I am heading out to my new milking room. I'm going to show you that area, and I have to bring in one of my bucks because he's got a pretty gnarly looking wound going on his ear from fighting with another one of my mature bucks. We actually butchered about a week and a half ago 2 of our goats that were destined to be meat animals, and they're actually not owned by me. They were loaned to me by my friend and mentor, my goat mentor Stacy, and they were destined to be meat animals. They were culls from the genetic pool for various reasons, and they were butchered. We did process them. I don't really have like hardly any footage of that because we were just busy. Felt something on my foot, you guys. I'm telling you, you cannot get away from these cats. But anyways, when we butchered Stinky, who was a mature buck, it really threw off the herd dynamics and caused the 2 older bucks to fight for dominance, which is fine, normal goat behavior. But last week Templeton had a wound on his ear. I noticed his ear was open and like gushing blood, so I flushed it with betadine, and I just noticed last night that the tip of his ear is really swollen, looks super painful. So I got to do something about it. I'm gonna have to like lance it and you know, flush it and just kind of assess from there. I'm taking you into the pole barn. The heater is running, and this is a heater that we're borrowing from my father-in-law. It is a really heavy-duty heater. It's like a jet engine, and it's so loud I can hear it from outside. And so I got to go in there and turn that off, and then my room will be nice and warm to work in. This cat, I mean, you're ridiculous, Stabby. My room will be nice and warm to work in, so just bear with me a minute here. So that's the goat barn there, and then through the goat barn on the back side of it has been my milking and feed room. Here is our pole barn. Stabby, you're not coming in, dude. I'm so warm, I gotta get this coat off. This is my husband's workshop, or has been, and I'm now taking over this little corner here as my new milking room, temporary milking room, until we get something else going out in the pole barn. It's working great. There's been a lot of kinks because you know, just finding a new system. Systems are so important on a homestead or a farm when you are trying to be efficient with chores, and creating a new system can be a little challenging, you know, creating new habits, finding a new flow, all of that. But also, goats like homeostasis. They do not like things to change. They are creatures of extreme habit, and they will respond quite and they will respond pretty wildly to change. So it's been a little difficult to make the change, but we are, you know, working out the kinks, me and the does anyways. So I'm gonna bring Templeton in here in a minute, but first I'll just show you what this setup looks like. I'm still moving things over. It's definitely not done setting up. I do wanna bring in my other stand, my tall wooden stand, but I just couldn't get that out on my own. And I really wanted to get this set up because, again, we have kids hitting the ground like potentially next week. Very likely next week. So I just wanted to get this done and over with. And so I did all this one night. I stayed up till like 11:30 last week, and I just worked. And I rearranged my husband's workshop so that I could make space for myself. So here it is. This is my new milking area. And as you can see in this workshop, I have real lighting, which is amazing. You can actually see it's not so dark and dingy. This is just my metal folding stand, which I got for shows. My friend Stacy's husband, John, made it. Link that down below if you're in Michigan, if you're looking for one. He does make custom stands. So I have that, and that's working good for the really bred does because they were having a hard time going up the ramp, especially Sunny. She's just so bred. So I've got that. You know, I moved over some of my stuff here, my wet rags after I'm done. I've got some, you know, clean jars and some feed additives. I brought out this basket here to deal with Templeton, so I'll show you these things, you know, potentially looking at like using new stock. Again, I'm going to assess. I want to give them another dose of Repelmin while I'm at it. I've got betadine. I've got some vitamin B complex here. I'm going to give them a shot of vitamin B complex. Got some betadine here, saline to flush out his wound, some alcohol prep pads, some syringes, needles, all that. So that's going to be the deal with him. I've just got some of my basics here of like Band-Aids, stethoscope, you know, knives. Never know if you're going to need a lighter. Like for right now, I got to sterilize. Let's see if I reach in my pockets here. Pull out my gloves. What else do I have in here? GoPro battery, razor, and a knife. See what I need to cut that. Another GoPro battery. Pockets of Farmers Who YouTube. Okay, so I got all that. I will likely use this as a brand new razor blade. Just sterilize it with a lighter and then lance it open. Again, we'll see. Got some feed here, and then if I turn this light on in here, I can't believe there's not a cat there. This, still a work in progress, is going to be our temporary kidding pens, and this is actually like our chicken / turkey tractor. We've used it to house a baby goat. We went ahead and put in this divider here, so this actually swings shut to here. So the pens are, well, an odd shape a little bit, are roughly the same size. They're really quite large. I need to bed it down with, I've got pine shavings for each stall. I'm gonna bed that down heavy and then really layer straw so that it's warm. Got our new Premier One Prima heat lamps here. I need to bring out another bucket. I've got these little hay feeders. I just threw down a couple flakes of straw because, again, I'm using this area for milking. There's the milk room there. So I've just been throwing one doe in here to hang out while I am milking a doe or having another doe on the stand. So this is gonna be our temporary 2-stall kidding pen. And, you know, it is pretty large. I've got some hay and straw in here. I wanna bring more. Have these little chairs set up if we need them for anything. Got a basket with a soft blankie for a cat to snuggle in. Got, you know, some supplies here. We've been storing grain out here, but then we moved the chicken and the duck feed out here just to make everything more streamlined, and I'll talk about that. And then this big sliding door right now is the way I'm getting my does in. And all the ducks were here too. Go figure. I'm very popular with these creatures because I feed them. So I've just been letting them in through the gate and then bringing them around and then doing it in pairs. So one doe goes in the pen, one doe goes in the room, and that's what I've been doing. And you know, this is a big pole barn. We have lots of space. So we are gonna, actually, I just set this board here to keep them from running backwards so I don't have to chase goats around the pole barn, which is silly. So I just set that board there, and my husband is we're gonna have to come in and put a wall in, an actual, like, you know, pen, a wall, and then we're gonna build a quarantine pen here using these really tall boards, just so that I have that for the future if I need one. Especially I want to bring in, you know, in the next couple of years, some new staff still to build my foundation herd. Seriously, Dobby, he's so cute. He's just a silly boy. You're just a silly boy. So, let's go get Templeton. I think I'll probably just set the GoPro up, like, in the yard. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do because it's kind of like a two-hand job to get a hold of a buck. So, we'll see. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna finagle this. I think I'll just go and grab him and then come back to you guys. Here's probably the best bet. All right, so here he is. See if you can see his ear. It looks pretty rough. He is looking rough after rut, and I want to deal with his legs too because he's got this urine scald on his legs, and seeing as I have him here, I'm going to do that because it's pretty rough. And I noticed here, see there was some hair loss. He's got this little scrape here, which must be from, again, fighting with Shady. He's got some cuts on his back, probably from Shady's scurs. So I'm going to just flush these wounds. You were really fighting, dude. And he's just looking rough. Give him all along here. He's been really going at it. You're looking a bit rough, mister. I'm going to give him his Replimand. His coat's looking rough, but you know, they're still really actively like peeing on themselves and being gross. They're starting to calm down a little bit now that all the does are bred. But I want to hurry and get him done here, so I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I'm just going to work and see what I can get done. don't know how much of that was even visible. I'll have to go back and rewatch the footage, but that was super stressful for both parties involved, both me and Templeton here. The infection, the wound is pretty severe. I am going ahead and treating him with a round of penicillin, and penicillin is supposed to be warmed up to room temperature before you inject it. So I have this here. It's got to be stored in the fridge, so I'm letting it come up to temperature before I inject it. And this is what I'm using, which is this Bactricillin G. Now, I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not giving any veterinarian advice. You should always consult with a veterinarian. You know, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. I talked to my mentor. You know, I double checked dosages online to verify I have the right dose. For penicillin for goats is 5 cc for 100 pounds. So I am going to go ahead and give him a 5-day treatment of penicillin just to make sure that this infection does not spread and that his ear can properly heal. A huge chunk of like necrotic infected tissue came out of the ear, and the ear is just ripped open. It's actually really gruesome. So if you're squeamish or if you don't want to see something like that, look away now because I'm about to show you. Oh, his ear is just this like insane hole. It's terrible. I cannot believe his ear looks like that. The thing about livestock is, especially goats, if they can do something wrong or get themselves hurt or get into something, they're going to. So you just have to be prepared. And that's why having a well-stocked, you know, medicine cabinet is so important with livestock. And so I have everything I needed to, you know, deal with the situation. So I went ahead and flushed the ear with saline, and then I flushed it with betadine. And so that did clean out some gunk that was in there. And then the betadine is sterilizing. It's an antiseptic. So I am going to flush that ear probably twice a day while I'm doing the penicillin treatment. Well, he's peeing on the stand again. Can't blame the guy. He's been standing there a while. Stressful for him, you know. Put down some paper towels and I'll have to clean that. I have to sterilize everything because when I, you know, tried lancing that ear and it burst open, it got blood. There's like blood. That's probably betadine, but I know there's like blood and gunk. He knocked over all these feed bowls. So I swept everything up, but I have to go ahead. I pulled all the feed pans so I can sterilize them, and I will go ahead and come out here and spray and sterilize with an antibacterial spray all of this so that I know that there's not any, you know, bacteria that's going to come into contact with my does or anything. And then I went ahead and washed his legs to get that urine off of him, and I washed his face, which he actually did seem to like. Huh, buddy? He's a sweet boy. He's upset with me, but it's okay. I gave him a peanut. You're a good boy, aren't you? Do you want another peanut? He's okay, really. That's a good boy. Goats won't eat. If they're too upset, I mean, he's in pain. Look at that ear. Oh, doggy. But he's a good boy. Yes. So I'm going to put some new stock. I washed his face to see if this was like a wound or what. And it looks like it's, you know, some from peeing on himself. So I'm going to put some new stock cream on him while I let that Pen-G get up to room temperature. It's a good boy. Yes. And then I will give him some probios real quick before I send him back out there because, you know, doing an antibiotic treatment, you really want to keep that rumen healthy. I already gave him that B complex, so that's what I'm going to do is go ahead and get his, you know, rumen boosted up. I gave him the Repleman. I gave him the B complex. I'm going to give probios, and then I'm going to give him the Pen-G and then take him back to the buck pen. So this has been interesting. This is this gruesome gunk, this whole whatever that came out of his ear. I mean, that's so gross. I'm sorry to show you guys that, but hey, this is real life. And if you want to learn about homesteading, farming, what it really takes to be a goat farmer, gross stuff is going to happen. This is certainly not going to be the last of it or the worst of it. All right, I've got Templeton back in his pen. He's doing good. He seems fine. Goats are resilient animals. Get the milk room cleaned up. It does not look like there was a buck in there. I thought I would go say hi to the goats real quick. I need to get the eggs so they don't freeze overnight. Nice Sunny. Sunny looking very wide. As you can see, she's got her little second freshening udder coming in, but she's looking really big. Gotta be at least 3 in there, if not 4. Heidi, also looking very big, aren't you, girl? And Miss Ely, looking wide. Her little first freshening udder coming in. Gotta say twins on her, right? Right, Heidi girl? We've been getting such cold temperatures, and then everything melts when we warm up, so it's just such a mess. Gotta fill their hay feeder, it looks like. Need to get some hay bales too. Windy. Smell like a buck, don't I? Smell gross. Hi. I would say Wendy's got twins or triplets, I think. And she's starting to show, get that real baby belly going, huh, Wendy? Yep. Twinkle here. Haggis. My sweet little Sai. I had your dad in there. That's who that was, your dad. That was. Sai is Templeton's only doeling we have so far, so excited to see if his breeding to Wendy will have produced any doe kids. If you're new to the channel or you don't remember, Wendy was actually bred to 2 bucks intentionally, both Detour and Templeton, so her kids will have to be DNA'd unless they're all black. If every kid is black in that litter, then that tells me that those kids are Templeton's kids and they wouldn't be DNA'd because Detour cannot produce black kids. Black is a recessive gene in goats and it requires a black gene from both parents. Wendy is a buckskin who carries a black gene, and Templeton is black, which means he has 2 copies of the black gene. So Templeton can only give black, meaning if bred to a doe who's not black or doesn't have a black gene, that he will always produce kids that are the colors of that doe or colors she carries. So it's just fun fact about Nigerian Dwarf genetics. Ducks are out. They're actually really loving this weather after how cold it's been, and they have seemed super happy today. So you can see the whole chicken run is covered in ducks. I'm going to check the wood stove here real quick and see. It says 173. I think I will just go ahead and fill it now because I am going out to eat tonight with my in-laws. We usually do like a family dinner or go out to eat Wednesday nights. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill it now because I do need to get going on chores pretty quick. It looks like I need to tighten my GoPro. Oh, not so wobbly. I'll set you guys up here. Savvy's out. Savvy, come here, Sav. Old girl Savvy. I think she's looking at me like, let me in. What are you doing, Sav? Come here, Savvy. Come here, old girl. Savvy is probably 11 or 12. She's been with me a long time. She's a rescue. Come here. Good to get those old bones moving, girl. Oh, she is a sweet old girl. Thanks, Savvy. Don't see her too often in the winter. She's sleeping, aren't you, you little house hippo? I'll let you in a minute, Ro. Okay. I don't even have my gloves because I took them all out of my pockets, so do what I say, which is wear gloves, not what I do, which is not wear gloves right now. Esther. That didn't quite go the way I had hoped, but such is life, especially when you don't have gloves. Like I said, don't do that. Filling the wood stove can be a rather strategic jigsaw puzzle-like event, and that was certainly the case. I'm just gonna get the eggs. Everybody's looking good. Chickens are staying nice and warm. Graceful, graceful. Been feeding them a lot of kitchen scraps. Hi, Clarice. Will you let me pet you? Clarice finally doesn't look like a bum anymore. Everyone's looking pretty good. I'm feeding them in the coop when it's been super cold out. And so just their scraps and a little bit of scratch if it's too cold to go outside. So they've really been turning this bedding, and I just gave them some fresh straw a few days ago. They really turned this up, which, I mean, it's good. They're composting, but I need to come in here with a pitchfork and actually just spread it back out again. But this deep bedding system works really well for us. There's really like no smell. And when you start to get smell, that means you need pine shavings because it's getting too wet. And then we go ahead and add more straw. So just try to keep a close eye on it. Looks like we've got 1, 2 eggs, you bums. 2 eggs. They really are not actively laying a whole lot. We've been getting between 2 and 6 eggs a day, and I would say 4 to 5 has been more normal, or 3 to 5, so it's a bummer, but it is what it is. And because I took out the feed bins in here, and again, I just brought straw the other day, I've got to get this cleaned up, and I'm going to pretty much take everything out of here other than like the egg baskets and the pitchfork. And I'm hopefully going to be able to transition this whole building away from a chicken coop this year and do a totally mobile chicken coop, which is my goal. And then this will all be used for goats or for ducks. So lately I've just been pulling this door open, leaving this one shut, other than I have to go in there for water, but just because the ice buildup around this door has been not so great. What you doing, Amara? What are you doing, Bugsy? Callie, Callie. Hi. Hi, Bug. What you doing? Were you playing with Uhtred? I let him out. Is that pretty? Ooh, chocolate ripple hen. My favorite hen, this beautiful dark chocolate hen. She's like, don't come close. Where are you gonna go, Doc? You guys are so lame. Everything's fine. I can come near you. I think you'd be used to being filmed by now, girls. Send them flying. So I'll show you guys the duck house real quick, and then I'm just going to go clean those dishes. Don't want any weird blood or pus particles in them, so I want to sterilize them before I go ahead and start my evening chores. Milk the does, well, milk Finkel, and put the other does on the stand, give them a little grain. I already fed Uhtred for the evening, made sure the bucks had lots of hay, though again, it's so much warmer than it has been. Today it was like around 20, I think around 20 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll have to double check that, 20, 25. And so that's made a big difference. The animals are so much happier, and they're just, you know, outside, which they really haven't been. So that's cool, and they don't need like, you know, I've been bringing the bucks hot water every day, multiple times a day. Today I didn't do that. I just gave them 1 bucket in the morning, and I just checked and they barely drank any of it. So then I just, you know that they're good and they're staying hydrated, which is really important. And oddly enough, animals can get very dehydrated in the winter because it's just so cold. The water's freezing. They're not drinking water if the water's too cold. So, you know, you do actually have to monitor them for dehydration in the winter, of all things. And here's this guy. Hi, buddy. Did you get to play with the girls? You played with Savvy and Amara? Yeah, you good boy. You got food. You watching your goats? You watching your goats? He's a good boy. Templeton's down in the shed eating. He just came out and looked at me. I like this hay feeder because I just filled it. Savvy's going for a walk with me, old girl. Is he walking with me, old girl? Yeah. So, the duck house. Looking a little rough. I'm actually going to just totally remove this because they are not using it. Like, they don't do anything in there. So, I'm going to pull it out and give it to the goats because I think the goats would benefit from it more. And see this crazy duck house in here. I won't like, go in, but this is how it's looking in the winter. I do keep bedding them down with, you know, straw and everything. You can see these. There's all that manure on top, but the problem is it's all been frozen, so I haven't been able to clean it. So I'll have to come in when we get a bit warmer day and scrape it all, and then, you know, pull that stuff out. I'll layer over it again. It'll be fine. Chickens that live in here with the ducks. So I went ahead last night and I added this tarp. We had 2 more tarps in the pole barn. And this spot was pretty open, and you can see here, you know, if you watch my other videos, these tarps are so ripped that have been on here for a couple of years just from the wind. We get a lot of wind here. We're on top of a little hill. You can see the holes in the back. They do so well in here. Like, they stay so warm. The Muscovies in particular, I mean, they will sit out in terrible weather. Just sit out in the open, lay on the deck. I also went ahead and put this tarp on, and so that's just giving them more than anything a break from the wind, helping to trap in some of that heat. But you know, it's not fully enclosed, obviously, so it's not perfect by any means, but it keeps them warm and they're doing fine. And again, if they were really cold, they would go inside of their duck house. They do so well in the cold, and they're not cold. Like, they have their duck house they can go in, and there's almost never any birds inside of it, and that's where they would really stay warm if they're super cold. But they do fine in here. All the chickens are fine. Everybody's warm despite the cold temperatures we've had and the cold temperatures yet to come. They're all doing really well. Come here. Come here. Sit. Sit. Do you know where you're... Do you want to go get your Frisbee? Where's your Frisbee? Where is it? Mr. Sprout. My cute little boy. Yeah, Brody boy. You're so cute, huh? You're a good boy. Templeton, what are you doing? Tempy, you eating hay by yourself? Oh, this sweet boy. I'll definitely be keeping a close eye on Templeton because with a wound like that, you know, I just want to make sure it stays clean, and of course, you know, that he seems like he's feeling good. But other than the fact that his ear is horrific, he seems like he's been fine. You know, I didn't notice there was anything going on with the ear until last night, like I said, so he seems good. Hi, Shady. Shady is going to be going back to his farm, to my friend Stacy here really soon. And he's been good company. But with purchasing Detour this past year and having Templeton, we just won't be using him on does like I thought we would anytime soon. So he's going to go back and hopefully go to a new home soon and find a herd where he can actually do some work and breed some girls, right? One thing I've been doing that's so different from anything I've done before is doing all my chores backwards. And by doing that, I've been a lot more efficient in time management, because I found by doing the bucks first in the morning, doing all the poultry, and then doing the does last, that I am just moving through things quicker. I'm having all my feed ready for the ducks at night. I've got water ready for the bucks at night. In the Ranger, I can just drop it off in the morning. I hay them, check on them, go ahead and dump out the poultry feed, give them water, and then I am done with the other chores, and I can just focus on the does who take the most time, who, you know, I have the most time, money, and emotions invested into. And I I find that they are just my biggest time suck as far as chores. So by doing them last, I can focus on them more, and I'm not feeling like, oh, pulled in 10 different directions. Like I have to go do this. I still have to do this and this. So that's been working really well for me, and I've actually cut down on my chore time quite a bit. So that's very exciting. And having my new milk room, having everything out there, having, you know, the lights and just everything, the heat has made a big difference in my time management overall. So that's pretty exciting and such a huge accomplishment already in the new year. So I feel super grateful to have that space. I'm thankful my husband finally agreed to give up some space in that pole barn. Didn't really make sense not to, but hey honey, it took you a while. It's okay if you watched this video. Well, here we are at the end of another video. Thank you all so much for watching. I think this one was kind of long. I'll have to see when I edit the footage how much time it all took with Templeton, especially in dealing with that gruesome ear of his. Thank you all for coming along, for watching, for following our journey as we raise livestock holistically, as we grow our herd of Nigerian dwarf goats and our Muscovy ducks and delve into all of that. I appreciate all of you. Thank you again for liking and subscribing and commenting and sharing and doing all of the things that help to grow my channel. I appreciate every single one of you. And again, Happy New Year. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.